It's the 28th day of June and the year 2025, and you're just in time for the Legends Edition, coming to you live from Broadcasting House in the Green City in the Sun, Nairobi, Kenya. My name is Edmund Mudibo, and top in this bulletin.
Tens of police stations have been burnt, uniforms stolen, firearms stolen. It cannot be business as usual.
I did not order the Inspector General or any police officer to carry out any extrajudicial anywhere.
Standing with the police, President Ruto condemns attacks on law enforcement as CS Murkomen denies ordering police to shoot protesters.
People who believe that it is originating from as a result of witchcraft. So that's what we are trying to dispel.
In sickness and in health, Kenyans rally in support of survivors of vitiligo. Cat mom to the rescue. See how a woman is giving hope to abandoned cats. And the undying spirit of a Paralympian. Hear the story of how James Mangerer kept his raider true in the hunt for sporting glory. Asante sana for making us your choice for this evening. Our sign language interpreter is Anne Wangeshi. President William Ruto has condemned attacks on police officers during the Wednesday's Gen Z protests, saying the unlawful behavior will no longer be tolerated going forward. The president, who spoke in a high-level meeting with top security and national administration officers at State House, said the trend threatens the national stability.
A day after condemning the Wednesday protest that he described as calculated chaos and anarchy dressed in freedom colors, President William Ruto on Saturday trained his guns on those who attacked police officers, saying their days are numbered.
We cannot have a country where criminals are running after police officers. If the life of a police officer is in danger, then whose life is safe?
The head of state, who met top security and national administration officers at State House Nairobi, said it cannot be business as usual when police vehicles and police stations are burnt.
People armed with all manner of weapons, threatening the police, beating up citizens, burning shops. That is not what is allowed in the Constitution. That is criminal. That is an act of terrorism against citizens of this country.
He assured the police of the government's protection in discharging their duties without fear or favor.
And I will go out of my way. I am going to stand for every man and woman in uniform who is doing the duty of securing our families, children, and nation. I will be there to make sure that they are not threatened, that they are safe.
The commander-in-chief said it was time to create a law to regulate demonstrations in Kenya.
We must protect the right of those who want to demonstrate, picket, and protest. But equally, we must also protect the right of those who don't want to participate in the demonstration.
And later on, while launching an affordable housing project in Nairobi, the president implored the youth not to destroy the country.
Kuna watu wanataka kutushughulisha na kuchoma nchi yetu. Mimi nataka niwaeleze, kuchoma nchi haiwezi kusaidia mtu yeyote.
Give us Mana Legends Edition.
Meanwhile, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen has disassociated himself with the report that he issued a shoot-to-kill order to police officers. Murkomen has clarified his remarks, saying he only cited the law on the use of firearms since he has no legal authority to give the police such an order.
Speaking on Saturday during a high-level security meeting convened by President William Ruto at State House, Nairobi, the CS stressed that the Constitution bars him from giving operational instructions to the police.
I cannot order an Inspector General of Police on anything because the Constitution denies me to do so. And I did not order the Inspector General or any police officer to carry out any extrajudicial anywhere. I restated the law and reminded them what the law says.
Elsewhere, police officers from Kikuyu, Kiambu County have arrested 7 suspects and recovered several items that were stolen during the 25th June demonstration, among them 1 AK-47 rifle, an anti-riot gun and other assorted items.
Starting with the AK-47. This one was stolen from Dagoretti Police Post. That is on 25th. And it is very unfortunate if we can have this kind of a lethal firearm in the hands of the wrong person. Got a magazine. This is the AK-47 magazine. Unfortunately, it is empty. But I know with the efforts we are putting in place, we also be able to get the ammunitions.
This comes as police officers in the Western region condemned the attack on a section of police officers during the 25th protest, calling for reconciliation and unity in the country, urging youth to express themselves peacefully and respect police during protests.
Polisi kama adui. Polisi ni majirani, ni mandada, ni mandugu, ni wazazi, ni wazazi na ni mandugu ya wa raia.
Sisi tunataka kushukuru Mungu kwa kutupea nafasi ya kuhakikisha ya kwamba wananchi wenye tunafanyia kazi pia waone sisi ni watu wa Mungu.
These sentiments were aired during a Catholic mass for the uniformed officers in Kakamega County. Kasi Chanamasha, Legends Edition.
Meanwhile, government-allied politicians continue accusing the opposition of financing the destruction witnessed during the Wednesday's demos. Speaking in Malava, Kakamega County, the leaders led by the president's aide, Farouk Kibet, claim there is a plot to topple the Kenya Kwanza government. This as religious leaders in Nyandarua and said police officers in Western Kenya separately called for national healing and reconciliation to quell the rising political temperature.
Speaking in Masaha, Malava constituency in Kakamega County, during a Boda Riders empowerment event, the Kenya Kwanza Brigade accused former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua of inciting young people to cause unrest across the country.
You cannot use the back door to come and take power. If you want power, be ready. The elections will be in 2027. Prepare yourself. The president of this republic alichaguliwa in a very democratic way. Wale ambao wanataka kumtoa, tunawaomba wangojee mpaka mwaka wa 2027. Wameshindwa mbinu zote, wanataka kuchoma nchi yetu. Sisi tunawaambia hapa na state categorically, stop camouflaging anarchy.
Similar sentiments were made in Kisumu by Energy and Petroleum Cabinet Secretary Opiyo Wandayi, who accused the DCP party leader of fueling divisive politics.
Protests have now been hijacked by negative forces that have got ulterior motives. Their motive primarily is regime change. We can't allow you to achieve your objective of regime change through Gen Z movement.
Claims that Rigathi's allies from Ukambani region have dismissed. Led by Machakos County Deputy Governor Francis Mwangangi, the leaders now want Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen removed from office, citing incompetence.
Kipchumba Murkomen akizungumza leo, unaona watu wanangawanya namna hii. Kenya inaendelea kuwa more divided.
And as politicians trade blame over political violence, religious leaders in Nyandarua County are concerned over the rising political temperatures and deteriorating national cohesion.
It's high time the government have an opportunity to create a dialogue between them and the young people and the leaders in this country and see where the problem is.
We must take this matter very seriously and, of course, address this matter, listen to our youths.
Gishoki Washira, Legends Edition.
President William Ruto has said that the 30,000 affordable houses currently under construction will eradicate slums and informal settlements in the country. Speaking while officiating the groundbreaking ceremony for the Bomayangu Railway City Affordable Housing Units in Landimawe, Nairobi County, the head of state also announced that starting 1st of July, 20,000 youths in Nairobi, who will be scaled up to 110,000 youths countrywide, will be enrolled in the climate works to conserve the environment and earn a living. 30,000 units will be constructed under the Bomayangu scheme in the 40-acre piece of land at railways to provide affordable houses to thousands of slum dwellers.
Tuko na ekari 40 na hapa tunataka kujenga nyumba 30,000 kwa sababu mimi niliwaeleza watu wa Nairobi, hii Nairobi tutamalizana na slums kuanzia tarehe moja ni next week. Vijana 25,000 wapya tunaweka kwa mpango ya climate works, tuwalipe mshahara, wajisimamie, ndio tuweze kujenga Nairobi hii. Vile vile mimi nataka niwaeleze, tuko pamoja. Hawa ni 25,000 wa Nairobi, lakini Kenya mzima kuanzia tarehe 1 vijana 110,000 watakuwa wanafanya kazi katika miji tofauti tofauti katika taifa letu la Kenya.
Kenya has today marked the World Vitiligo Day under the theme Shades of Strength, Embracing Our Skin, Empowering Our Stories. The event held in Nairobi brought together health experts, advocates and survivors who called for greater awareness, inclusion and support for persons living with visible and invisible conditions.
Vitiligo is a long-term skin condition where pale white patches develop on the skin caused by lack of melanin, a pigment which gives the skin its color. At just 7 years old, Jacqueline Wanjiru noticed a pale patch appear on her neck. Her mother thought it was a burn, but as the patch slowly spread, the family began searching for answers. Unfortunately, it was a journey filled with misinformation, expensive treatments, and encounters with unqualified doctors.
When we discovered that I have a skin that's not like other people's skin, or there is a problem with my skin, hakuna mtu alikuwa anajua hiyo ni nini. So nilikuja kujua baadaye. In class 8 niliendanga Kenyatta Hospital nikitry kuingia kwa phototherapy. There was a process we were doing called phototherapy, and hapo ndo nilijuanga kumbe my skin has a name and its name is vitiligo.
Now a proud model with Royal Patches Foundation, Jacqueline says she eventually stopped seeking treatment after too many failed attempts. Instead, she chose to accept herself and follow her dream of modeling, something she once feared pursuing due to stigma.
When I was in high school, I met this organization, the Royal Patches Organization. Ndo wakani inside, wakani tia nguvu like, you know, you can become a good model. You're so beautiful. We love your pattern. You're like kuni mentor and all that. So they encouraged me to model. Wakaniambia, it will be good for you. So from there I started modeling.
James Laban, the Executive Secretary of the Vitiligo Society of Kenya, emphasized the need to fight stigma through accurate information.
Around 2% of Kenyans suffer from vitiligo, and not quite a number know what vitiligo is. There are a lot of misconceptions. There are also people who believe that it is originating as a result of witchcraft. So That's what we are trying to dispel right now.
Speakers at the Vitiligo Day event held in Nairobi made a strong call to government and institutions to create inclusive health systems, fund community support, and prioritize accessible infrastructure.
Government and policy makers, we want to prioritize inclusive health services, disability-friendly infrastructure, and sustain investment in awareness, treatment, and community support to persons living with visible and invisible differences. To employers and institutions, let us redefine merit by embracing diversity. Create inclusive spaces where people with vitiligo and other abilities feel safe, valued, and empowered to thrive.
World Vitiligo Day is marked on the 25th of June annually with an aim to build global awareness about the disease. Jacqueline Masharia for Legends Edition.
President William Ruto is calling on the newly promoted Kenya Defence Forces officers to discharge their duties with the welfare of the country at heart. The president spoke Saturday during the state investiture of rank and service commander installation of the Kenya Defence Forces at State House, Nairobi, where he congratulated the promoted officers and challenged them to uphold professionalism.
A day after the communication on KDF appointments and promotions, the newly promoted officers were at the House on the Hill for a state investiture of ranks and service commander installation ceremony. At the helm of Kenya Army and Kenya Air Force, the new commanders took their oath of office. They were then followed by the rest of KDF officers who take charge of different departments within KDF. President Ruto, while congratulating them for this milestone in their career, challenged them to be steadfast in executing their tasks and exercise professionalism at all times.
It is my expectation, and that of the people of Kenya, that you will discharge your responsibilities in the interest of our nation, for the benefits of millions of our citizens, and in ensuring the safety of our borders and the integrity of our boundaries.
This even as he reminded them of the great weight they bear and the hope that the Kenyan people have bestowed on them as far as territorial integrity of the country is concerned.
I am invested in making sure that we provide the equipment, the logistics, the human capital necessary for the Kenya Defence Forces to discharge and appropriate the responsibility and mandate that you have.
The head of state wished the top military brass the best of luck as they go on about their duty and expressed his support for the men and women in boots.
I want to assure you of my commitment and that of the government of Kenya in supporting the Kenya Defence Forces in ensuring that the constitutional responsibility you have is discharged without hindrance.
Isofar reporting for the Legends Edition.
It's 1:15 and it's time for our very first break. Stay with us. There's plenty more on the other side.
Looking to advertise on KBC? KBC announcement services are now available on eCitizen. Visit kbc.ecitizen.go.ke and fill out the online application form. It's simple. 1. Complete the form. 2. Upload required documents. 3. Receive a quotation based on word count. And 4. Get notified via SMS when your announcement is ready. Please note, clearly indicate the type of announcement, service station, and all relevant details. 2. All applications must be made online only. Manual submissions will not be accepted. And 3. Announcements will air after news bulletins. For assistance, reach us on email ecitizen@kbc.co.ke or use our social media handles, Facebook, your Facebook account, and X at your X account. Or you can call us on 0723 892 654 or 0734 780 124. KBC announcements. Simple, fast, and digital.
Semana Sports.
Semana Sports is a bold, enlightening television show that offers Kenyans a direct line to the heart of government operations. Hosted by the government spokesman, Isaac Mwaura.
Welcome to Semana Sports Bonga Gava.
This weekly program features candid conversations with senior government officials, cabinet secretaries, and heads of key parastatals as they break down their ministries' achievements, challenges, and strategic plans.
Cage aquaculture farming, yes. 8.7 billion.
Yes.
So there's a lot of money.
There's a lot of, and we have not even tapped the potential.
As we get closer to start constructing the first nuclear program, we should have a robust regulatory framework.
Thank you, the spokesperson, for this chance where we are able to converse with our government.
Semana Sports.
Hii sio story ya jaba. Sio story ya jaba. Mimi ni Mkenya mzalendo daima. Thank you.
Tuesday at 8 p.m. only on KBC Channel 1.
The government of Kenya has launched an ambitious initiative aimed at elevating Nairobi's global standing as a premier investment destination. At the heart of this vision is the development of the Nairobi Railway City.
The railway city will be defined by multiple forms of transport offering commuters convenience, safety, and speed. The time has come, over a century later, to write a new story of Kenya's historic progress on the tracks.
The Nairobi Railway City project is set to position Kenya as a regional, integrated, green, and inclusive urban city.
Welcome back and thank you for keeping it Legends Edition. As the world marks the International Day Against Pet Abandonment on the 20th of June 2025, Kenya still faces anecdotal evidence that suggests a significant number of stray cats due to irresponsible ownership, abandonment, and lack of affordable spay and neuter programs to control their population. Sheila Yogo traveled to Tigoni to meet Rachel Kafue, an ardent lover of cats who is setting up a sanctuary on a 5-acre piece of land for abandoned cats. Take a look.
28th June is the International Day Against Pet Abandonment, marked annually. We travel to Tigoni in Limuru, Kiambu County to meet Rachel Kibue, the founder of the Nairobi Feline Sanctuary that houses more than 600 cats in Mihango, Utawala, Nairobi. She's setting up a cat facility to provide shelter to cats that need a home. Several cat lovers turned up to take part in a walk to sensitize the public on matters of cat abandonment and responsible cat ownership.
I just love animals. I've been rescuing for a very long time since I was a kid. And today, I think it's such an important event to highlight abandonment of pets in the country, in the world. It's just phenomenal.
Candles were also lit for abandoned and departed cats. Do you remember the cats we featured in 2022 at Kibue's home? The 10-year-old Trevor.
Trevor? Yeah, he always does that. Trevor! Trevor!
We lost him last week due to kidney failure. And the 18-year-old Fluffy Bree succumbed to old age-related complications. They too were not forgotten. The sanctuary is part of a 5-acre piece of land. With sleepless nights, lost in thoughts about where to find a bigger place, the heavens finally smiled on the cat woman.
Our friend in the US got us this place.
Another well-wisher, the Network for Animals with origins from South Africa, facilitated the construction of the main sanctuary. Others making sure that the cats do not sleep on empty stomachs.
Partnering with the Nairobi Feline, where we just donate food, quality food for the pets.
The first batch of 100 cats is already here, and the remaining batch will soon travel to Tigoni, Limuru, Kiambu County to enjoy the serenity of the cool climate and a place known for lush green tea farms. This cat, known as Mheshimiwa, is one of the felines that are lucky to be here.
This boy was rescued by Honorable Esther Pasaris, so we named him Mheshimiwa. He's very friendly and now he's totally socialized.
Rachel takes us through.
So this is, we are calling it the mothering unit. It's going to house the pregnant cats and cats that come in with kittens, because we rescue mostly the mother cats.
A day without play makes a cat dull.
This is phase 1 of a play area for cats. It's the catio.
The cats will also enjoy cooked food from the sanctuary.
And it will also have the kitchen for the whole sanctuary.
Even in death, this will be their home.
We promised them a forever home. So even after they die, they still have a forever home
even
here.
In death.
Even in death.
Stray cats are a threat to common and endangered species of birds, hence need to restrict them.
We are waiting for the grass to grow, and then we are going to put mesh around.
The cat woman has planted a variety of vegetables to supplement their diet.
We have farmed for the cats primarily because they love cabbage. We mix it with their food, and also pumpkin.
The cats also need a warm environment.
Because this area is very cold, way much cooler than where we came from. Yeah, so anybody who has a baby cot, a duvet, you're not using mattress, yeah, they would welcome that.
You can also adopt a cat virtually.
And then come over the weekends and spend time with the cats.
Some communities perceive cats to be mystical beings that are mostly associated with witchcraft, but Rachel is happy to receive a warm welcome from the neighbors.
Mimi ni neighbor wake. Akanikuta, nikamkaribisha.
The project is set to be complete by January 2026 to give the cats a more comfortable residence. Actually, we will have a maternity wing for cats. We will also have a cat cafeteria where you will come with a cup of coffee or a cup of tea just to have some time with the cat to make the cat feel loved in this world. Sheila Kayaro Yogo reporting for KBC in Tigoni, Limuru, Kiambu County.
And Sheila, meow, meow. That is, thank you on behalf of the cats. Kenya remains steadily on course in pursuit for the certification of low-carbon tea, which would see the world's leading tea exporter exploit and target new global markets as it seeks to double forex earnings from tea from the current 215 billion shillings annually within the next 10 years. As Weekly for Catch reports, Kenya, Germany and China are jointly conducting a feasibility research on green production and processing of tea in the 71 tea factories across the country in what stakeholders reckon is a promising step towards attaining low carbon.
Tea remains a significant forex earner for Kenya, accounting for about 23% of forex earnings annually. This translates to about 2.4% contribution to the country's GDP.
When we talk about the products that get out of this country, 26% of the total exports that go out of this country, is tea. So tea is a very important crop.
A viable option in doubling forex earnings from tea from the current 215 billion shillings annually is certification for low-carbon tea to enable Kenya target new markets.
When you have it conforming well, you are also able to penetrate markets that you will otherwise not be able to go to. And this is good for us, especially Kenya, because we export a lot of our tea.
This means Kenya must purpose to decarbonize operations across the tea value chain. KTDA Foundation General Manager Sudi Matara says this process begins by replacing the 60-year-old tea variety that is currently being grown by the over 700,000 smallholder tea farmers in the country.
If you look at the tea that we have, it's almost 60 years. Most of the tea that we have, it's moribund, it's not high yielding. But through the Tea Research Institute, we have all these clones that basically fit in different ecological zones. So already we have those ones, but the problem that we've had is the challenge of how does this smallholder farmer replace this tea? And they will lose income for about 2 to 3 years. So those are some of the challenges that we need to look at, and that's why we look at other options such as diversification. You help this farmer diversify.
In fulfillment of this objective, Kenya is collaborating with Germany and China in conducting a feasibility research on low-carbon tea production with the goal of being certified within the next 10 years.
We want to make sure that tea is also recognized as a carbon sink because it has not been recognized as such. And once we have this, I think we'll be able to increase the value of tea.
Already, new tea varieties said to be high in yield and low on carbon footprint are being developed.
The current ones that we have and low, they're producing low yields. It's about less than even a kg. But the new cultivars that we have from Tea Research Institute would just double that.
From the production stage, which generally deals with tea growing and harvesting, the processing stage is the next critical step where carbon emission must be limited, if not eliminated entirely.
To hasten the journey towards Kenya's certification for low-carbon tea, there needs to be policies that necessitate green production of tea in all the 71 tea factories across the country.
Several tea factories across the country, including Nyansiongo and Matunwa in Nyamira County, are already embracing green processing of tea by adopting the co-firing concept for energy sourcing.
We understand the dangers about the global warming, and also the danger that in the future, if we are not concerned about this, we may have challenges even about the tea production.
And in terms of decarbonizing our operations as an organization, we have quite a number of interventions that we've carried out. 17 of our factories are on our own grid. We do not depend on the Kenya Power to give us electricity. And you can see that the cost of production has gone down, and even the amount of carbon emissions has gone down. That's one of the things that we've done. Also, we've gone into solarization as an organization.
Once carbon footprint has been limited at the production and processing stages, the focus then switches to marketing, which will be hinged on the blockchain technology to enhance traceability.
Technology is coming again, and we must be able to trace that this is CTC black and it's coming from this particular factory, and we know that these factories have already been certified. And so whatever they are getting out there is something that is clean, climate smart produced.
The journey towards attaining certification for low-carbon tea is currently at the feasibility stage, but stakeholders are adamant that with the right policies and interventions, Kenya will not take long to get there. For Channel 1, I am Wycliffe Okech.
When you think of gold, platinum, silver, and copper, your mind likely goes straight to luxury jewelry or high-end electronics. Moringa, peppermint, and platinum designed to detox from within. Each sip was herbal, minty, and surprisingly smooth.
This, when it goes into the body, it actually pushes out all the toxins.
Well, and if you just want to own a little piece of luxury, that is copper, whether gold or silver, do join us this Sunday as we speak precious metals and your health.
reality. You're my sunshine, you're my best times, you're my
Nishamrushia mama emoji. Once I sent her a small emoji, she sent a big one.
No, when we were together in the house chilling, cooking and stuff like that, he was like, please, I hope you're going to be like for me alone, like making sure that please promise
assurance,
all that. So when I met his parents, I think that's the first time I've ever experienced meeting someone's parents. And let me tell you, Maina, parents were so sweet.
So like for her, she told me clearly, you first need to marry me.
Yeah, you need to set the standard.
Yeah.
That was very good of you.
You're my
With the Legends edition, and time now for sports. I'm Topi Liambila, and you're all welcome. Now, Kibra soccer women were crowned the 2025 FKF Women's Cup champions after edging out Vihiga Queens 1-0 in a tightly contested final at the Nakuru Safraha Stadium. The historic win marked the club's first ever title in the competition. Super sub Stella Diambo scored the decisive goal late in the match, capitalizing on a loose clearance to finish off a well-delivered cross from Faith Mboya. Speaking after the match, Coach David Vijago praised the team's resilience, acknowledging that while they did not play their best football, their determination carried them through to a well-deserved victory. The final had originally been scheduled for the 14th of June, but was postponed to allow the Harambee Starlets to participate in the 2025 Sekafa Senior Women's Championship, which concluded last weekend in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania.
Next season naweza sema tumejipanga kama team. Ukiangalia wachezaji wenye wamecheza, tunataka sana tujaribu tu maintain na tujaribu tuingize philosophy yetu kama team. By the time tunaanza first leg ya ligi tutakuwa better side.
Sisi tulikuwa tunataka ligi, but kwa ligi tukapoteza kidogo. Cup pia ilikuwa goli yetu cause season ya kwanza tulikuwa number 3. Tukatoka number 2 last season. Hii season tulikuwa tubebe. So tunashukuru kwa wachezaji wamejitolelea. Angalia pia tumekuwa na timu young poa. Wale ndio tumetoka grassroots, tumetoka NSL.
Samson Lemayan and Mercy Kwambai are the winners of the 25th edition of the Lewa Safari Marathon, held today at the Lewa Conservancy in Meru County. Michael Kamau and Mary Waidera won the half marathon titles for the men and women categories, respectively. Let's take a look.
Samson Lemayan from Maralal clocked 2 hours, 28 minutes and 35 seconds to win the Lewa Marathon ahead of John Muse and Joseph Karaoke, who settled for second and third positions respectively. 36-year-old Mercy Kwambai, a mother of two, clocked 2 hours, 47 minutes and 17 seconds to successfully defend her 42-kilometer title. In doing that, she defeated Evelyn Lagat and Monica Watetu, who had to settle for second and third positions respectively.
Kwa sai naenda tu kufanya mazoezi, sijajipanga kwa mbio hivi karibuni, naenda kufanya mazoezi, maybe later ndajua mbio yenye nda participate.
Kulingana na races yenye siko mbele, kwa sasa ninapangia Standard Chartered Nairobi mwezi wa 10, na iwapo kutakuwa na race ambayo itatokezea hapo katikati, maybe huko Europe, pia nitaweza kushiriki.
Michael Kamau was too fast in the half marathon, winning the men's category in 1 hour, 6 minutes and 37 seconds, outpacing Justin Lelitan and Simon Saidimu, who are on the other podium finishes. Mary Waithera replicated that performance in the women's category, finishing fast in 1 hour, 18 minutes and 27 seconds. Pauline Gigi and Susan Wanjiru had to be content to the remaining 2 podium positions.
It is important we support local community, especially in health and education, so supporting local schools, supporting local hospitals, so it's all round support. So happy to be involved and happy to celebrate with Lewa as they celebrate 25 years.
Ruben Nganga and Sarah van der Laan won the 10-kilometer races respectively. This year's Lewa Marathon attracted over 1,400 participants.
Now, on the Homeless World Cup, Kenya kicked off their campaign in the Africa Women's Cup on a high note by thrashing Zimbabwe 13-1 in the second edition of the Homeless World Cup initiative, held today at the Kamulu grounds. They also beat Ghana 5-2 and claimed a 5-0 win over Tanzania in a neighborly affair. Uganda were also off to a winning start, thrashing Zambia 10-1 and Egypt 11-1. Ivory Coast also scored a double triumph against Zambia, whom they beat 7-1, and Egypt, whom they beat 5 goals without any reply. The tournament, which has attracted 8 nations, aims to create awareness on the need to halt gender and sexual-based violence within society. Kenya is also using the tournament to prepare for the annual Homeless World Cup, which will be held this August in Norway.
Performance ya leo imekuwa fiti kabisa. Tumekuwa na cooperation, teamwork, ndio maana tumemanage to beat all teams.
Challenges ambayo tunapata ni financially ukiangalia hii event inahitaji finance. Unaona? So tumekuwa tukifanya fundraising na wakubwa wetu kusudi kuweza kufanya hii event ikuwe colorful.
We work with a lot of organizations around the world that are using football to bring in people that are vulnerable, homeless, at risk of homeless, prisoners, ex-prisoners. We work with people with disabilities. We work with people recovering from addiction or recovering from gender-based violence.
We are here to join homeless, to look at the Homeless World Cup and what it's doing for us as a county and a country. The collaboration is supporting us in ensuring that on matters gender-based violence, we are also able to use sports because it's one of the strategies that used properly, we are able to create a lot of awareness on the ground.
The level of competition, I would say actually it's good as far as the competition is concerned. But again, like I said before, it's a unique tournament. The main thing of this tournament is to fight gender-based violence and promote mental health amongst young women, not only in Kenya, but also in Africa as well.
We started the project last year. It's a 2-year project. We started last year, and over the 4 countries, we got to reach over 800 women and young girls.
Well, it looks like they just found a home in the sporting world. Now, over now to Padel champions, where Griffin Wafula and Jimref Baraza impressed on their performance to clinch the doubles title during the 10th edition of the Social Padel Showdown Championship, which was held at the Goan Gymkhana in Nairobi. The duo claimed a 6-4 win against Collins Nyabuto and Hesbon Ichako. Frederick Mwoki has the report for us.
Close to 180 players from different walks of the world converged at Goan Gymkhana, Nairobi for the 10th edition of the Social Padel Showdown Championship, which marked a triumphant moment in a tournament designed to spotlight Kenya's growing passion for padel.
Social Padel Showdown is the idea is to bring people in from all walks of life to play padel. We were the ones who started pioneering padel tournaments in Kenya.
Griffin Wafula and Jimref Barasa claimed a 6-4 win against Collins Nyabuto and Hesbon Ichaku to win the men's doubles title.
Nimecheza level ya 2.5 na imekuwa better. We are from Zen Garden, a team from Zen Garden. I thank all Zen Garden management.
The championship, which was held in partnership with Serena Hotels, will come to a close tomorrow.
We're really championing the sports diplomacy arena and just introducing, because we have realized there's avenue for sports and hospitality to really merge and just beyond the accommodation bit.
Frederick Muki for Legends edition.
Now, something on the Ingwes. Over 2,000 delegates are expected to decide the next leadership of AFC Leopards Football Club in the election set for tomorrow. Former Leopards commercial director Enos Mutoka and club legend Bonfa Zambani will fight for the leadership of the oldest community club in Kenya for the next 4 years. Let's take a listen.
Former AFC Leopards commercial director Enos Mutoka has exuded confidence of emerging victorious in tomorrow's election, saying he is keen to change the club if elected.
Once I'm elected as chairman, I want to make sure that this club, going forward in the next 2 years, we must be able to have more than 3 sponsors on board so that we stabilize our finances. And in so doing, we want to make sure that we get finances that will help us to renew the contracts that we are talking about in the short term. But going forward in the long term, we need to make sure that we get finances for this club to be able to sign the quality that can compete not only here in our league, but also in Africa.
Mutoka will face off with club legend and former international Boniface Sambani in a 2-horse race.
We have 17 contracts of players which are coming to an end. And the first thing, once we get to the office, we must make sure that we maintain this squad. Those contracts that needs to be renewed will be renewed, and a few of them who needs to be dropped will be dropped. But I don't want to do an overhaul of the team. I want to maintain the current squad and do a readjustment, just a few additions, so that we go fighting for the season, this coming season.
The winner will succeed former player and Nairobi FKF NEC member Dan Shikanda, who has served for 2 terms.
We must make sure that we segment our merchandise, make it affordable and quality and affordable, so that we don't just have a blanket prices for merchandise, but we can have them in a segmented way, so that every fan, every member, every supporter of this club gets the merchandise they want at their pocket-friendly prices.
Over 2,000 delegates will decide the fate of leadership for the next 4 years.
I don't think, to me, myself, I believe in myself. I believe in what I can do. I've done it. It's not rocket science. As I said, I've been in football for all those years. I've grown in football, lived in football. I've never left. So it's a challenge. Yeah. It's a challenge. Now the transition from being a fan, a footballer of the club, a coach, and now into leadership. So I know it's a challenge, a tough one, but I know what I want, and I believe. And the best thing, I believe in myself. And given a chance by the fans, 100% sure, I'll give them what they have not been getting for the past years.
Leopards finished 6th in this season's FKF Premier League season with 51 points, 14 points behind champions Kenya Police. They won 12 matches, drew 15 and lost 7 times in the 34 matches they played, to finish just 8 points behind rivals Gor Mahia, who settled for 2nd position.
Well, may the best man win. Ingwe fans definitely deserve the best. Now, para volley. Kenya continues to make huge strides in nurturing talent across different sporting activities as sportsmen and women seek glory to put Kenya on the global map. Tonight, we bring you an inspiring story of a man who has defied the odds and flown Kenya's flag on an international stage. James Mangerer is not just a Paralympian. He is a father, a husband, and a living testament to the power of resilience. Our reporter Frederick Moki caught up with him in Nairobi and brings us this story. Take a listen.
At first glance, this may look like any other early morning training session. But for James Mangerer, every lap, every serve carries a deeper purpose, one born not out of circumstance but of determination.
Voted by one Madam President Doris. She told me to come and join. She saw the potential in me and decided to incorporate me into sitting volleyball.
James made his debut for the National Paralympics team in 2014, a moment that changed his life forever.
I do many sports. I do javelin in Paralympic and shot put, and also race. But my major event is sitting volleyball and javelin in field events.
Since then, he's gone on to represent Kenya in multiple international competitions, proudly wearing the red, green, and black.
Sports and it earns. So at the end of it, being a veteran player, I know the challenges you have to endure so that you get something in future.
James' journey hasn't been easy. Like many persons living with disabilities, he's faced stigma and lack of resources.
There are many challenges as a disabled person we encounter on the way, mostly when we are commuting from our area of residence to the training ground. So you have to look for some cash so that it helps you to commute. And again, with the matatus that we are using, they are not disability friendly, so you get that there are vehicles that you cannot use when you are coming for training.
But he chooses to focus on the opportunities, not the obstacles.
I am very proud of it that way because disability is not inability. You get people say that you may not get like you cannot get married and get children. But that's a lie, that's a myth. I'm a family man, I have a boy and a girl.
In a world quick to define people by their limits, Mangerer, a father of three, is changing the narrative.
And every serve, every spike, and every dive lies a story of resilience and determination. But for Mangerer, the journey has been of redefining limits. Reporting for Legends Edition, my name is Frederick Moki.
Thank you, Moki, for that very inspiring story. Now I'll move over to Cestoball, where the Cestoball Kenya Federation will hold a national trials next month to select their national teams for their first invitational tournament in Argentina. The trials, which will involve both men and women, will be held on the 19th of next month, according to the chairperson of Nairobi Cestoball Association, Kelvin Kiprotich. Participants will be drawn from 10 teams from different counties, including Nyeri, Mombasa, and Nairobi. The Federation further seeks to partner with the Argentina Embassy to help create awareness about the game, which is still relatively new in Kenya. Let's take a listen.
On 19, we shall have a tournament here in Nairobi that's now regional, and we are working hand in hand in it. We are working with the ministry. We are trying, as you know, going to a national level is not a joke. Actually, the ministry must be aware of this. And also, to be sincere, without funds, we cannot go anywhere. A national team, organizing for a national tournament is not something easy, but we are also working hand in hand with the ministry. We are trying to find how they can also assist us, because Cestoball is a federation that is registered, and they know it. So the only thing we are trying to do is now how to get resources from the ministry for us to prosper and organize for these tournaments that are upcoming.
The Kenya Judo Federation, in partnership with the Alpha Judo Club, organized the first ever Boys to Men Mental Awareness Walk in Kitui. The event, which marked the Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, brought together athletes, law enforcement, and community members in a united call for men and boys to speak out about their mental health challenges. Dubbed the Boys to Men Mental Awareness Walk, the event is the first of its kind in the region and was used to encourage people to break their silence on issues affecting them. The event also featured community dialogue, self-defense demonstrations by using sport as a bridge to deeper conversations around empathy, emotional well-being, and breaking societal stigmas.
They normally get so much pressure to perform, and if someone is not able to reach where they want to be or their target, they normally end up feeling like, oh, maybe nimejikosea, or I'm not doing as I should. So the pressure is really on them.
These are champions. You have been winning throughout, and then suddenly maybe your career comes to an end, or you are put on a suspension. The person doesn't know what to do with the energy that they have. The endorphins they're looking for, they can't get them without doing the sport that they have been doing. And that is when you see depression.
It's very crucial for sports across the country to embrace these initiatives and also have them in their clubs and offer these safe spaces for the athletes to be able to engage and to express themselves confidently without fear.
Well, loads of continental soccer action in the month of August this year. Now, following the release of the 2024 African Nations Championship CHAN match schedule by the Confederation of Africa Football CAF, the 19 teams set to take part in the tournament can now properly plan on how they will approach their matches. Holders Senegal are set to begin their title defense against Nigeria in a Group D opener. Tonight, on our CHAN 2024 countdown, we spotlight Group D, whose matches will be played at the Aman Stadium in Zanzibar. The group also consists of Congo and Niger. Let's take a listen.
It is a group that consists of a reigning champion, one runner-up, one third-place finisher, and two-time quarter-finalist. The pedigree of the teams presents Group D as one of the pools to watch out for in the tournament. Senegal will be seeking to retain the title after clinching it for the first time in Algeria 3 years ago, but the Teranga Lions will have to first navigate their way around group rivals, beginning with the 2018 runner-up Nigeria. The other group rivals, Sudan, will be out to surpass their 2011 and 2018 showing where they fell short exiting at the quarter-final stage. Congo, who were readmitted to this year's edition after a successful appeal that ruled out Equatorial Guinea, are expected to make their presence count. Their highest placing in the previous 4 appearances is during the 2018 and 2022 editions, where they reached the last 8. Group D matches are set to be played at Aman Stadium in Zanzibar. Only one fixture will be played in Dar es Salaam. That is the final group game between Nigeria and Congo. Bernard Okumu, Legends Edition.
Meanwhile, on the Africa Cup of Nations, women host country Morocco, and Zambia will kickstart the Women's Africa Cup of Nations on the 5th of July at the Olympic Stadium in Rabat. A total of 12 African teams will compete in the tournament, whose final will be played on the 26th of July. Let's take a listen.
The kickoff for the Women's Africa Cup of Nations is 7 days away, with 12 teams competing for the title that is currently in the hands of South Africa. Hosts Morocco will play Zambia in the opening match of the tournament, with the two sides sharing an almost similar record. Zambia slightly edged Morocco, having won 2 of their last 3 meetings, with Morocco winning once, with their last competitive meeting ending in a 2-0 win for Zambia. Holders South Africa will wait until Monday to kickstart their title defense against Ghana. Before that game, 3 matches will be played on Sunday, a day after the opening match. Senegal will open their title hunt against Democratic Republic of Congo. Nigeria will face Tunisia as Algeria take on Botswana. With the teams pooled in 3 groups, the top 2 teams from each group will automatically advance to the quarterfinals, joined by the 2 best third-placed teams.
Over now to the international scene, where we have the WRC Acropolis Rally. Ot Tanak strengthened his grip on the Acropolis Rally in Greece as Adrian Foma hopes for a maiden WRC win were dealt a heavy blow on Saturday. Let's take a look and listen.
Just 3.0 seconds clear overnight, Ot Tanak delivered a clean and calculated run across 3 of Acropolis Rally Greece Classic gravel stages to set a 33.2 seconds lead at the head of the field. Wins on SS8 and SS9 helped the Hyundai Star edge away from the chasing pack, and although Sebastian Ogier pipped him in SS10, Tanak's control of the rally remained intact. Adrian Fomo had remained in second until the final stage when a rock broke a rear suspension arm on his I-20N Rally 1 and cost the Frenchman over a minute as he slipped to third behind Ogier. Elvin Evans stayed fourth, while Takamoto Katsuta moved into fifth ahead of Gregor Munster, who continued to battle handbrake issues in his M-Sport Ford Puma, while Kalle Rovanperä was eighth.
And finally, on the Club World Cup preview here, where Benfica boss Bruno Lage has singled out 2 key Chelsea players for praise: Enzo Fernandez and Pedro Neto, ahead of the Club World Cup last 16 tie later tonight at the Bank of America Stadium, United States. The winners of the contest will play in the quarterfinals on the 5th of July. Let's listen up.
Touch the back now. Restiani flicked on here from Sanchez, still there for Benfica. The shot from distance, that was close.
Competing at the Club World Cup for the first time, Benfica secured top spot in Group C after accumulating 7 points from their 3 fixtures, with a comeback draw with Boca Juniors on match day 1, followed by successive wins over Auckland City and Bayern Munich. Had Benfica finished second in the group, they would have come up against Brazilian side Flamengo in the last 16, but now face a Chelsea side whom they have lost against in each of their previous 3 meetings.
Stays onside, Leroy Sané, it's saved!
Chelsea coach Enzo Maresca has insisted that Benfica are a top club with a top manager and top players, and the Blues must be at their very best if they wish to prevail in tonight's tough contest. Tomorrow, European champions PSG will face Inter Miami as Flamengo clash with Bayern Munich. The big game of the last 16 will be played on Tuesday when Spanish giants Real Madrid face Italian powerhouse Juventus.
And it's in towards Shelderup, who has a swing at it, comes to Otamendi. Now Sanchez deflects it in. A handful of touches and he finds the net. Renato Sanchez.
And that is a wrap on the sports segment this weekend. Hope to tune in again next Saturday for another bumper harvest on the sporting scene. I'm Topi Liambila, and I sign off saying, Edmund, it's your show.
Topi, and for you, our viewers, we thank you for the privilege of your time. We don't take it for granted. Our sign language interpreter has been Anne Wangeshi, and the great team that has made this possible. Stay well, stay safe. God bless.
We are talking about infertility, a name that carries a lot of pain, misunderstanding, and often judgment from a society that equates motherhood to womanhood.
And then you also start wondering, am I broken? Is there something wrong with me? Am I not a woman enough? Yes. Am I, like you start owning the blame and the shame.
Anatomical factors like the varicocele
varicocele can happen with the time. The men are fertile in their 20s or early 30s, but after the varicocele, it can affect the sperm productions.
It would be so devastating. Like, there are times I have cried in the bathroom, there are times I have cried in the shower, there are times I've cried on the bathroom floor, just wondering, God, like, what is this? Like, why would this be happening to me?
At least go to the screening about fertility screening, whether they are having a problem or not. Otherwise, they will keep on hoping and trying or delaying for social reason or for any career reason. And then when they plan for the baby, then it's not then working.
Hey, you are going to